Now he's hitting my shins. Now,
what's happening?
He just hit his head.
What's happening?
I'm going to do play-by-play.
Is he going to be all right?
He's now in a down fetal position underneath the countertop.
But I think he knows what he's doing.
Try it. See what I got. Yeah, we're working.
He fixed it. Once again.
Watch your head now. Don't hit your head.
A little bit of everything. Little bit of.
Tell you what, Kirchville, he was about that close from going into concussion protocol.
Pretty good.
So what's the story on the hat? That's the new Three Guys logo.
Prototype.
I've seen that. Prototype.
Well, yeah. So startup podcast here. So you kind of just bootstrapping the whole thing, right?
Yes.
So I went out and did some gear, Kirchville. Just thought, I want a hat. Need a hat. I'll design it. I'll do it. Just handle
yourself.
It. Went out and got it.
Well, you didn't design the logo, though.
I did. I didn't design the logo, but I designed the placement on the hat.
All right. Nice. Looks good. Is it available at whatever that website is?
Efforting. No, not yet.
It's not available at episode800.com.
Did some prototype colors. Got a blue and gold as well.
And what about your shirt?
Well, I matched it with. I wanted to go with the old school original.
There it is.
Rarely
That's the original.
used.
That's the first one, isn't it?
Very first one.
Yes.
Talk about prototypes.
Yeah.
Where is it? There it is.
Yeah. Gosh.
Right.
I got to dig
We
mine out.
probably update that, shouldn't we?
Yeah, because we've all aged a little bit since then.
Yeah, you don't have a
Me
beard.
more than others,
You don't even have a beard.
What's that?
Well, I've aged quite a bit with the beard, the white beard. Tony's had multiple cosmetic surgery procedures. He looks younger.
I've lost
You're
hair.
holding in nicely.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, we'll get a new. There it is. There's a close up.
Nice.
Hold on. There it is.
Yeah,
so
Tony, yes, that does not reflect Tony's surgery. Tony's cosmetic surgery.
So we got to work on that, don't you think? Shouldn't we get a new?
I heard the artist retired. Sydney retired. She made that.
Yeah, Sydney Antonic. Yeah, we'll have to work on that. We'll get her. Maybe we can commission her for one more deal.
Here's a line.
But anyway, I'm going to work on some more hats. If people like the hats, I'll work on that. We'll work on the hats.
I love it. I would wear that.
Would you?
Yep. Here's a line. What's Penn State thinking about West Virginia? That was almost making
I talked to
I almost
Steve
went
Jones.
full Howard Cosell on that. I talked to Steve Jones, the play-by-play announcer of the Nittany Lions, and I inquired to him, what's up with Penn State? Let's listen in. First visit for the Nittany Lions since 92 to Morgantown. Obviously, we saw each other last year. Where are you better? Where are you concerned from where you were a year ago?
Better probably at wide receiver. Quarterback has improved. I feel that, is there any area I'm concerned about? No, there's no real area I'm concerned about with the team. But, here's the problem. You go through practice, and guess what? You're practicing against yourself. Now you got to find out what you can do against somebody else who schemed and game planned for you. And there's a couple things. For example, West Virginia knows Andy Koltanicki really well because West Virginia played Kansas every year.
Right.
So that staff knows Andy. So there's not going to be unfamiliarity with what his thought process happens to be. Conversely, he also knows what West Virginia wants to do defensively. So, those are the things that you're looking at. They also want to see last year, the kicking part last year, it got solved in the game against West Virginia, but that's been a wide-open competition for Penn State for a place kicker. And, of course, especially in a road game, you're going to need to be consistent there.
There you go.
Venerable Steve Jones.
Yeah, been there he has
Forever.
seen everything twice, literally.
Yeah.
He's been at it for as long as, he was there back in 84. When I first started here, we would trade tape, which means exchange sound bites over the telephone line.
So you guys are probably about the same age. You might be a year or two older than
He might be a little bit older than me, I think. But we'd go he'd go like, hey, I got 3 Paternos, and you got any kneeling? And we go like, yeah, I got 3 kneelings for you. You go, okay, just you'd click a switch, you'd put the phone down, and you'd send it over the phone line. That's why every soundbite back then sounded like football.
Penn State coach Joe Paterno.
Yeah, exactly. And so now, obviously, the magic of digital. So he feels pretty comfortable. But
Sounds like it.
He does give respect to WVU. He's been here for many, many, many
He's been
games
around long enough to
through
know.
the years. He gets it, and you just certainly don't know.
He did. He gave a lot of respect to Garrett and
Yes.
to the offensive line,
CJ
the running
and
backs.
Jaheim.
He got it. He
He knows
knows.
Jaheim. He knows Jaheim. York, PA, wants to have a day against Penn State. Keep in mind, Jaheim didn't have the opportunity to get on the field last year against Penn State because he just wasn't ready, wasn't doing all the things you needed to do, and they couldn't trust him at that point, and then he gained that trust over the next several weeks.
See, that's part of the fun, I think, guys, of an opener like this, albeit really difficult. And it would be really nice to trot out a team that you could hang 50 on and drill them and get everyone more excited. But what you'll learn with this will be fascinating. We've mentioned it a bunch. With a Rodney Gallagher and a Traylon Ray out there as two your best receivers last year, were true freshmen walking onto that field. They had only been here a month, right? Jaheim White doesn't even play.
Right.
Guy that goes on to you think could be one of the best backs in the Big 12. Garrett
I realized
Green. Garrett had started games, but really that's his first game as the starting quarterback.
There.
In
that environment.
Right, you think he's better? Has he gotten a little bit better since then?
I'd say so.
I'm fascinated to watch what this offense that, again, was really clicking at the end of last year. Now it has a little different makeup, some different questions than we had last year, but some better answers in areas going against what is, again, probably the best defense you're going to face. I don't know that I'm on too much of a limb in saying that. I think this will be the best defense that West Virginia will see, just as it was last year. I think that's going to be a fascinating watch. West Virginia's O against their D in particular.
That's a defense that held teams to 13 points last year. 13 points.
Yep. I mean, it is a massive challenge, but a challenge that I think the boys over at the Pushkar Center want to go do. Look forward to it. Say, let's go ball.
Now,
let's
imagine, even though they're just approaching game week, I imagine they've worked on this a little bit before during the off season.
Oh, sure. There's things put in there. Probably in spring ball, different looks. They're not even telling the kids at that time what you're working on, but you might be putting a scheme here or a scheme there that they might see again. Yeah, that's possible.
Finished first in the country in sacks and TFLs, Brad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they literally top 3 in every defensive category you want to come up with.
Yeah.
It was a really good defense.
Yeah.
They will be again.
That's why it's good to have a quarterback that's got at least the ability to get out of harm's way. Mm-hmm. When you didn't have that and you were back there and you were a target, you could just stand there. That's tough to get those guys.
Yeah, and just think, we talked to Steve about this, but that defensive line, it's not just Abdul Carter that they've moved into a pass rushing side of things, but they love their tackles, and there's multiple guys at defensive tackle that they're going to roll in. So what's this West Virginia offense look like in terms of the motion and the misdirection and the options you have that you just simply did not have week 1 last year? That was a major difference. What you saw from the West Virginia offense as it got into November versus what it looked like in September in game 1, they're not even the same two offenses. Now you add a year on top of that, especially with your skill guys growing up. I can't wait to watch it. That'll be fun.
3 Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Comax Business Systems. When it comes to business equipment, they've got every possible thing you may need in your workplace. So check them out at comaxwv.com. And that includes business phone systems. We say it all the time, whether you need 1 line, whether you need 1,000 lines, their digital phone systems are competitively priced. They'll come in, give you a free estimate. What's it going to cost? And now with technology today, basically you can have the best communications among your employees, know where everyone is, get all the messaging out to folks if they're out in the field constantly, perfectly. It's comaxwv.com. That's comaxwv.com.
Okay, you want to do a little basketball while we're still in the spreads on stats segment?
I mean, I wouldn't
Which is
know
just
why
turned
not.
into a meandering segment here as we talk about a million things.
No, that's
Keep
fine.
going.
No, that's fine because the basketballers will start practice here probably next week. They're giving a little break here with the first week of school, and then they'll get ready to go and pick up where they left off in Italy. And as we said earlier in the program, WV learned this week what the pairings are in the upcoming Battle for Atlantis. Now, if you remember, this was supposed to be a trip that West Virginia took a couple of seasons ago. And then COVID blowed that whole thing up. It blowed it all up. Had to go to South Dakota, if you remember.
Right, yeah.
And they had to go to South Dakota, and then the teams that were supposed to be there, like they fell out, and they had to completely, constantly change the teams that were in it. So this is finally that trip to get there. This is one of the premier tournaments every November. You always think about Hawaii.
Maui and this are the 2 best fields.
These are like, there ain't no playing around in this thing. This is big boy basketball in West Virginia. gets Gonzaga first.
Yeah, so what I did, Hop, went through, just looked at the early Gonzaga matchup.
Oh, gosh.
3 months early, just a couple nuggets.
It's never
here.
too early.
Just a couple of nuggets here. This
Okay.
this is no surprise. They're going to be very good again, especially on the offensive side. This is a team last year, Hop, 4th offensively in points per possession efficiency nationally. So they were really, really good. Couple guys that we'll talk about more as we get closer, but to keep your eye on for Gonzaga. Ryan Nembhard, really talented point guard, and Graham Ike, a 6'9" interior guy. That's a guy that you're going to have to watch if you want an early matchup that West Virginia is going to have to contain with its lack of size on the roster. That's going to be West Virginia's challenge. You're getting Graham Ike, maybe preseason player of the year in their league. Nearly 80% of his shots came from in the lane, 43% of those shots at the rim. So you want to early how to win the game for basketball against Gonzaga, watch Ike in the lane and try and shut that down. The other part, Nembhard and Ike, very good pick and roll combination right there. Nembhard top 10 nationally in percentage of time running a pick and roll. So they'll want to do that. So the defending the pick and roll against Gonzaga will be super important as well. Potential second round matchup with either an Indiana or a Louisville.
My goodness.
Yeah. See, we're not messing around, as Tony said. Let's look at Louisville for a second. That would be a fun matchup for West Virginia here. Just a dreadful couple of years under Kenny Payne for that Louisville program. They are not what they traditionally have been. Last year, a bottom 100 team offensively, and 355 out of 356 when it came to defensive efficiency. But you know what about those numbers, Hop?
What?
Just simply don't matter at all.
Because?
Throw them out. Because much like West Virginia, they have remade the entire roster. 12 new players coming in under new coach Pat Kelsey. So that's a complete rebuild. Evan Miyakawa, friend of ours, Evan Miyakawa has been on the show, evanmia.com, of course.
Sure.
Advanced Analytics for basketball, does a tremendous job. Has the Cardinals as the second best portal class in the country. Has West Virginia ranked 17th in that category as well. So that would be a fun, interesting second-round matchup.
That new coach over there at Louisville, is he pretty energetic?
He's energetic. He'll bring it.
Yeah, Pat Kelsey. Big energy guy.
College of Charleston.
Yeah. Came out of the CAA. So they'll be bouncy, they'll be energetic. I would imagine they'll bring some fans.
That'd be a good fan contingent there.
It'd be interesting to see how many West Virginia brings, because Mountaineer fans have done extremely well going to these November tournaments. And we've been to Puerto Rico, Vegas, Florida. They did really well. Charleston, South Carolina, they came out in droves. But I wonder if that'll translate to the Bahamas, because that's Thanksgiving week, correct?
That's tough.
Yeah, Thursday. We'll play on Thanksgiving Day. You'll play Louisville or Indiana on Thanksgiving Day.
Heck of a tournament.
Yeah.
Heck of a tournament.
So there you go. All right.
There you go. There's an early look at basketball, Hop.
Wow. That is early.
If the depending on when you're listening to this, if you listen today, which is 22nd of August, or if you're up until listening to this just tomorrow's the last day that you can sign up for the application to get in and win a spot in the Mountaineer Man Trip. It's just an unbelievable thing that Gomart does.
How do you do that, Tony?
You just go to their website, gomart.com, or you can get it on the app and just put your name in there and you will be notified. And once again, that concludes on the 23rd of August, and we wish you the very best, and they'll announce the winners coming up next week. Also, keep this in mind about Gomart. Sunny days deserve sweet breaks. Have a break. Check this out, Brad. Have a Kit Kat and earn a token with every purchase at Gomart. You collect tokens for your chance to win 5,000 bonus reward points. You heard it here first, 5,000. Only the top 25 token earners are going to win. So get yourself a Kit Kat flavor. Start collecting. Get started now. This offer ends August 31. Go to the Gomart app or visit Gomart.com.
You can also line up on that app and get 50 cents off a Kit Kat there, Hop. See that?
Kit Kat's a strong candy, too.
Not a whole lot of people dislike Kit Kats. Like Kit Kats
are way up my list.
They're like the Switzerland of candies. Like they're just like everyone. Like
crunch.
Who doesn't like Switzerland? Who doesn't like Kit Kats?
Might be some of those Asian Kit Kats that people won't like.
Man, those were good.
Yeah, we have done some weird ones.
Yeah,
people sent us.
Those are really good.
But just the regular traditional, give it to me all day long.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Those have turned into a big Halloween.
They have?
Yeah, certain candies that have really kind of been pushed. I don't know if big candy's behind that. I don't know how that works.
Big candy.
But those Kit Kats, very prevalent, big giant bags of Kit Kats but they're not the full size, right? They're the little skinny ones. You can like take it. Well, some I don't know. Some I know take them. Just you can just do one bite.
Big candy. I bet you there is a story behind that. I bet you there is. I bet you if like